All right, so there's one thing I don't like right now, and it's the way my mana cost is being displayed. However, in order to take care of this, I really want, instead of this being a single string, I want this to be an array, each holding, each value there. And then I can start to do some cool stuff with that once I get, the array looking pretty nice. So what can I do here? Well, I need to, in order to break this string into an array, I need to use a regular expression in order to match this up. So regular expressions are also known as regex. It's kind of a weird thing that we can use to match things and then take those groups and do stuff with them. So there's a lot of stuff with regular expressions. This is a really cool website, regex101.com. So I went in and I put a few examples here, and I want to try to create these matching groups here. So first of all, at the beginning, I need this delimiter. This is the correct delimiter for JavaScript. And then I do want /globals so it will match all of them rather than just the first one. And then we need to start building a regular expression. So when I look at these groups, what I notice is that they all start with curly brackets and end with curly brackets. So I want to start with a curly bracket and end with a curly bracket, but that doesn't match anything, even if I put like a 3 in the middle. The problem is the curly brackets are special characters in regex, so we need to use an escape character, which is this. We're going to put these escape characters in front of each of these, and then if I put like a 3 inside, it'll match this one. If I put a W inside, it matches all of these. If I put a U inside, it matches these, one, so on and so forth. But I need it to match any characters. So if I put a dot inside, that kind of works. It just, the issue is we have these weird things with new lines. It seems like it's not picking up this one. So what a dot is supposed to match is any character except for line terminators. But we also, what we can do is add a star here, and that will match the previous token between 0 and unlimited number of times. But the problem is that's creating these groups right here. Like from the first curly brace to the last curly brace is also a group because it has characters inside. So what we can do is add a question mark here, and this is just something you have to memorize, but it now matches the previous token between 0 and an unlimited number of times. So this is what our regex looks like. We're going to copy the whole thing to the clipboard, and then I'll go down here, and I actually want to change the way that our mana cost gets mapped. So we're going to say function. We don't need to export this because this is just going to be an internal function here. Get mana cost. We're going to pass in a raw cost as a string. And then let's say our regex equals this. All right, this is kind of cool. Regex doesn't need to be wrapped in quotes. And when I copied it to clipboard, it also copied that opening slash and the /G for the global flag. And that's regex. We got the regex here. Now we're going to use that regex and actually match with this found thing here. So we'll say, we don't even need to do the found. We're going to return. So we're going to return raw cost.match regex. So when it matches, it's going to be returned here. Now I want to make sure that the return type is correct. So I'm going to actually type it, and look, it's not. Because what it's trying to return is a regex match array null. And I believe a regex match array can be treated like a normal array, but the null part cannot. So either I can change the type up here to be string null, but I actually don't want it to ever be null. I just want it to be an empty array. So what I can do is this null check. This will basically, what this logic is saying is it's, if this is not null, then use this. If it is null, use this. Don't pass null back, but use an empty array. And now, no matter what, it's going to be an array. It'll either have stuff or it's going to be empty. Then all I have to do is first go up to mana cost here and change this to a string array, and then go back up here. And for our mana cost, we're going to say get mana cost and pass in that value. Okay. Now, if I go back over to here, it actually looks the same, but it's an array now. How do I prove it's an array? Well, on an array, we can actually use .join and then put a delimiter in, like a comma space, and now it's got a comma space between each of these things. So that's how we can use regex to isolate these. And the next one will actually take this logic or take these groups and do something fun with them.